Hey folks, this is Justin from Pretty Fly for a Brick Guy, and today we have this Porsche 911 alternate build review. This is a great build by Lego Fisto that was put up on Rebrickable. Today we're going to look this thing over and see if it's worth taking your Aston Martin DB5 apart. Okay, so this is a alternate build of the Lego Aston Martin DB5 James Bond car turned into a Porsche 911. What that means by alternate build is that you basically take the original model and all of the parts that make it up and then turn it into something else. And so Lego Fisto basically built this 911 out of all those parts. He used 900 of the original parts. The Aston Martin model itself had 1,295 parts. Pretty good parts usage overall. So let's take a look at this car from all different angles so you can kind of get an idea of what the final build looks like. It turned out really good. I think the proportions and the shaping were really, pretty spot on for an air-cooled Porsche 911. It's got the really nice, long swoopy back on it. You've got the cool front fenders, really kind of nailed the rear end too with the little, spoiler. So overall, I think this is a fantastic rendition of the Porsche 911. Has a bunch of working features. You have your, typical door swing here. Come to the front. Got, the bonnet here opens, but no engine because this is a rear engine car. Swing it all the way around here to the back, and this is where you see your 6-cylinder air-cooled engine, typical Porsche design here. So all in all, that works really well. The interior itself is, pretty Spartan, nothing too crazy. The doors themselves have, the little detail for the window crank and kind of a handle thing here. You got some gauges in your steering wheel. The seats are, very similar to the original Aston Martin seats that are in there. So not a lot of detail, but enough to, kind of do its job. This build took me about 4 hours to put together, all told. So it was a pretty decent, straightforward build. I was pretty happy with the length of it. When it comes to the instructions, they were, super straightforward, pretty easy to understand. Had, a good amount of detail and sub-assemblies. The only issue I kind of had with them was the rear fender installation on the passenger side. The angles of the instructions were a little funny, but once you just kind of looked at it over, it was not too hard to figure out how it fit in there. For this build, I would definitely say it's an advanced build for someone, above, the age of 14, someone that's 16, 17, 18, or an adult. The parts are not super hard to put together, but you do need to be able to manipulate the instructions and look at them in your mind and kind of understand where things are supposed to go as you build. So definitely a bit of an advanced design, not for someone in their younger years. The model itself, if we look at it, is 12 inches long by 5 inches wide and 4 inches tall. To give you a size comparison, you can see that the Mustang is a little bit longer than the Porsche. They're about the same width. When you come down, look at the height, they're about the same height. Pretty comparable. They look really good together on a shelf or in a display case. If you compare the Mini Cooper to the Porsche, you'll notice that the Mini Cooper is definitely a lot shorter. But as you come down, the front view here, you'll see they're about the same width, and the height on the Mini Cooper is just a little bit taller than the Porsche. On this model, for like really neat parts usage, it was, pretty cool the way that the back end kind of swept down with these angles and the, usage of the little vented triangle there. The best use of parts was actually in this door hinge section and what holds the windshield together. It's all buried on the inside, but it's a really neat design for how Lego Fisto kind of decided how to build this hinge and how it's all going to fit together and connect. So that was really kind of my favorite design. The axle design for the wheels was really good too. They were nice and sturdy. Good construction there with how he decided to build that. Another great bit of engineering was in the back here. The bumper, the way that it was built and clipped in was really nice. I especially like the way Lego Fisto put that together. It makes the rear end super strong. It's built with brackets and clips, so that was pretty cool. As far as changes, I took out the center orange pillar. If you look in the instructions, or other people that maybe have built this, there's an orange pillar that's supposed to hold the roof. I took that out from the beginning because I didn't think it was useful. The only other thing that I tried to do was see if I could actually get real back glass. This, back glass is fake here, but the proportions of the Aston Martin original glass just doesn't fit. It doesn't look good. You can't, try to fill it in and make it look nice. It's just so it's better this way. The only other thing is I had some extra parts, and I did go add these guys to the front bumper here. I thought this kind of looked cool and smoothed this in, so I just added that as a little touch when I was finishing up the model, looking at what parts were left over. One thing else to touch on is the fragility of the model. I think that it is really strong. It feels good when you're rolling it around. The only thing that I kind of maybe had some issue with was like this whole kind of roof assembly is a little loose. I think there's supposed to be clips that were to clip in, but they just didn't work for me. So that's the only part that I thought was fragile. The rest of it, worked really good. All the other hinges and everything stayed together nicely. So super nice structural build. So overall, this was a super fun build. I really enjoyed it. Another great model that you can make from your Aston Martin. There's a lot of other models that you can check out on Rebrickable. So overall, I would totally suggest anybody who's got an Aston Martin DB5 to go and build this model. I think it's a great looking car. I think it looks really good on the shelf. It really has the right proportions. The build was, fun to do and simple. So I definitely suggest you go ahead and do that. So looking forward to building some other models with these parts. The next thing though for me is to take that Mini Cooper apart and turn it into a Porsche 911 and see how they look side by side, see what that setup looks like. So that'll be my next build. So look forward to that. If you like this video, please, like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, give me some feedback. Tell me what you liked about the review, what you wish I maybe touched on more of. Do that. Just give me some feedback so I can continue to improve these videos and give you guys the content that you're looking for.